Games. Hi everyone, I am Jack Red. This refill is following the Sega one. I gotta say that I am kind of privileged to do both because I was a fan of the original Dead Rising game, and Resident Evil 5 is a good sequel to Resident Evil 4. So let me actually go with the more popular one first, and then I'm gonna go into Dead Rising chapter. Why? Because I have to talk about the differences, the important differences between that and the original version. This is Resident Evil 5. I got this when it came out. I was lucky because I did not pre-register the copy. I got a Godbook too, but I'm not going to show that off. It's a terrific game. It's just so awesome. The storyline fits together. There's actually a part you get to be on the Jeep and shooting like mad crazy. Remind me of two Metal Gears. Actually 3 Metal Gears if I'm not mistaken. You get that kind of at the end of Metal Gear Solid. At one point in Metal Gear Solid 3, which is also near the end, and Metal Gear Solid 4, which is kind of in the middle of the game. So I gotta say I like it a lot. You also get basically to play the story mode either on or offline with another person, which I really like about this. You can also do the very same thing with the mercenaries. You get, like Resident Evil 4, you get 2 sets of ultra outfits. However, none of them will actually affect unplayable characters that can be played in the game, and none of them are going to keep you completely out of harm. But you do get really awesome hidden weapons, such as the Hydra, which is actually my favorite, the Gatling gun, and the longbow. The bosses in this one, I kind of like the Resident Evil 4 one better, but not all the way. What I mean by this is, my favorite boss of Resident Evil 4 was Wriggle and Jack Krauser. But in this one, it is straight out the second Wesker boss fight. This one, you basically got to get him to where he's stunned, and you get him with a needle, and you gotta hold his ass there. You get needled. It is hard to believe, but that's how you beat him. One thing I had to say that Resident Evil 4 had over this was the voice acting. I mean, the guys they have for a lot of them were bad, but none of them were as bad as Wesker. I mean, I'm not trying to criticize the guy who did Wesker, who we are actually able to identify to be German, because you did a good job doing the role. It's just that some lines you said kind of pissed us off, in a sense, because it didn't feel like how Wesker would say it, you know. But and he could have looked better. You know, this man looked older, and the coat he had. I like the one in the Umbrella Chronicles, flat out. Now, I am going to bring out the original Dead Rising, and I'm going to compare it. I'm going to show you basically the working one. I have another one that's still in here, but it's the original one, and I broke the disc. So that's the original Dead Rising. Now I'm going to show you the Wii port of Dead Rising. I got this also on the same day it got released. This game has some good and bad things about it, such as the good would probably be the save feature, the fact that you don't have to get a whole bunch of handguns or shotguns or sniper rifles. You get a bit of variation, like you get like a bunch of handguns, shotguns, sniper rifles, and stuff like that. And like Resident Evil 4, you get the money, you get the ammo. The bosses are fun. They actually changed a lot of the boss fights. One of the ones I noticed they didn't really change was Adam the Clown. He's pretty much one of the few bosses that stay the same. Everyone else has a slight difference or plays just a bit different. Like one of the most obvious of that would be Carlito, the first boss fight, because usually you would find him on top of the whole food court thing, you know, from down there or being up there at a certain range. But here he won't be up there. He'll just be like right near the food court, you know, like right near the actual places he'd be going top to bottom with. You know, it's just hard to believe. I'm really glad they removed Infinity mode, because that mode sucks, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. It's like the mercenaries off of Resident Evil 3. It's just too damn hard. And it never really ends. You just have to die and it's over. But this port actually gives you a good one. You basically get Odd Jobs and Second Amendment. Odd Jobs is basically how funny the game is gonna go. Second Amendment is just a test of sniping. And they made some of the things that were nearly impossible to unlock to be more unlockable. You know, it's just, who wants to play in Infinity mode for 10 straight hours? It's just frustrating. And if you want to play 14 just to get Arthur's boxers, I mean, what the hell? You know, just so pissing off. You get exquisites in here. Now, one thing that definitely sucks is that you only get one car this time around, rather than probably one car, one Hummer, one van, and 2 motorcycles. That is my exact count of the ones you can have in the original version. Another thing you're going to hate is that in the first one, you know, you wouldn't really limit by saving people, okay? You really weren't. But in this one, you kind of have to save the people this time around just to get through it. It has length. So basically, on the standard, that the first one is from 6 to 8 hours. If you get the A ending, you go in overtime mode, and that explains where the other 2 hours come in. Well, on average for the other one, if you play non-stop, it is actually 10 hours long by an estimated count. One thing that you're also going to hate is you can only have at least one melee weapon at the most in this one, rather than having a whole shitload. But the inventory is much better. You just go into your inventory in the pause menu, and there you go. It's like fully upgraded, and this one would have been 21. Well, and the original, which you can have easy access to, is 12. So that's a huge, huge improvement right there. Another thing you're going to really hate about this game is that some of the exclusive enemies, you would wish them to be better, but they're just not that good. I know a lot of people are going to complain about the graphics, which also eliminates a lot of the zombies. Yeah, I can understand your pain right there, and I don't really mind that much. And let's get down to the point, okay? What did I really think of this game? I personally like it more than the original. I know you're going to probably like, oh yeah, your opinion sucks, we don't really care. You know, YouTube reviewers around the world, you know, where they find better ones than you. Well, all I'm going to really say is that if you play them both and understand what was exactly wrong in the first Dead Rising, you'll understand why I like this better. For instance, you got to talk to Oz constantly in the Dead Rising, and if you get hit by a zombie or anything like that, or do something else at a certain point, you have to re-pick up the call, and yeah, it's so annoying. And this one, the call that immediately comes up, you know, pauses gameplay, and you can actually read it. So the text is readable, and Oz's calls will pause the gameplay for you to read it. So you don't just have to basically go like, damn it, you know, it's just, that's what I love about this. Another thing that I also noticed was the carving that I forgot to mention. Okay, in Dead Rising, if your vehicle gets destroyed, which you can drive around basically the outside in the park and in the tunnel, and in one part of the mall, which is the North Plaza. In this one, you can only drive it in the tunnel, and there's only one part in the whole thing. In this one, you can only walk around it. Unless you're collecting the bombs, but once you collect the bombs, only that one area right near the butcher is the only area you can walk. And if the car gets destroyed, you lose life. But at least it gives you the continue thing of Resident Evil 4, so I had to say I like this one a lot. In the gun store, I like it too. And there's actually a shortcut to help you get an S rating. So overall, I know what a lot of you were thinking. I know a lot of critics criticize this game and be like, oh, the original is better and all that, but just hear me out that I like the port more. It has its ups and it has its downs. No port of a game is this perfect, okay? I admit, no game is actually perfect. But in my mind, this port stands out as one of the best ones I have ever experienced. Another thing I like about this is that even though you don't go to the hardware store and story mode in this one, which pisses me off a little bit, you actually get to have some missions and odd jobs you could be in there. Even though some of the missions involving that are annoying, but at least I get to go in there. And the fact that I gotta wait like probably the big portion of the game to go to the movie theaters rather than going in there from the start is kind of ticking off. And the fact that they took away the stairs and some of the paths, it makes you want to lose your head. So this is Jack Red. I hope you enjoyed the refill, and sorry I made some mistakes. I'm a little nervous, and I hope you have a good night.